As we've all experienced, over the last 15 years, medical care has moved from people writing in Yourchart to people typing in a computer. At this point in time, 100% of your medical record is online. In addition to that, as a means of fostering communication and knowledge, most of the facilities that you see have created what's called Mychart. There's some variation of Mychart from facility to facility. That allows you to create an account, log into the account, and see pretty much all of your medical records. It allows you to see your lab work, your radiology studies, and your progress notes. While it's helpful, I want everyone to understand that Mychart is a computer system that's developed by your care provider. That means that they can see all the times that you access into Mychart. They can track what records you saw and didn't see. They keep all of that data and information as well if you ever have a lawsuit against them. In addition, Mychart allows you to communicate with your physician. We've used that frequently. Emails are sent between you and your care provider. Be very careful in the information that you're providing your physician. You have to make sure that it's accurate. You have to make sure it's complete, and that any symptoms you have, you would want to make sure you list on that email. The reason why is those communications are kept by the other side. If there's a lawsuit in the future, they will use those communications against you if you didn't fully explain the issues that you wanted to see the physician for. Let's say we're in a situation where you see your physician. They order 10 labs and let's say 2 radiology studies. If those studies come back, those 12 studies come back, and one of them's abnormal, and the physician misses that abnormality and forgets to tell you, that could potentially give rise to a medical malpractice case, okay? That would be an example of a classic failure to diagnose a condition that was on that lab study or that radiology report. However, now that you have Mychart, you have access to all that information as well. And the defense will use that to suggest that you had an independent duty to review your labs and review those 2 radiology studies to see if there is an abnormality yourself. And they do that all the time when they're trying to defend these cases. They show that you were perhaps in the chart and that you either did or didn't look at those lab values, and that you should have or did in fact see that abnormality as well. And they will charge you with negligence as well. Let's talk about Mychart once a care provider gets a letter from me, either requesting medical records or if we've already done that and we file a lawsuit. What happens with your Mychart? In a situation where the case involves, unfortunately, the death of someone in your family, let's say your spouse or your child, if that person has passed away and I file a medical malpractice lawsuit, at that time, the care provider has every right to terminate the Mychart. It's no longer your chart, it's the decedent's chart, and their position is that that individual is dead, and they completely shut down Mychart. So just know, if you've had a loved one die, it would be in your interest, if you have the username and login, to go in and to make sure that you look and possibly copy all the medical records, because that's going to be shut down as soon as litigation starts. In terms of a case involving litigation where there isn't a death, let's say a client comes to me and they went to their doctor, they were misdiagnosed, but they're thankfully still alive. They have injuries, but they're still alive. In that case, they won't shut down your Mychart, but they will continually watch what you're doing in Mychart. So just understand, when it says Mychart, it's really not your chart. It's the institution's chart, and they're allowing you access to it.